Real bad.
See, that number is up just too fast. That's got to be bots on Twitter. Twitter bots? I see you, mother.
Must be a ton of them.
No comments on the stage. Not to say right there. Oh, just enjoying the band. See if anybody wants to say anything, but I'll start blabbing here. 10-7, man. Huh? Harburner, how useless is Samaj Morgan? Well, that wasn't a good look at the end of the first half right there. Had a nice big,
Especially after an emphasis on catching this week.
he'd still be running.
The whole bye week.
He'd still be running, man. He had nobody in front of him. You catch that slant. He is good once the ball's in his hands, but it's a pretty major part. Got to get it in your hands first.
The thing is, he catches punts.
Yeah,
Okay.
the lone wolf is done with the receivers. Marsh can stay. Marsh made a really nice play over on the sideline over there. Really wasn't even open. Underwood just kind of threw it up to him, and you let your receiver make a play. You like to do that sometimes, I guess, but overall, man, just so unimpressed with this offense, man. I just feel like I know the wide receivers aren't all Americans, and they're not going to win on every play, and they're not going to, none of them really have what it takes to just take the top off deep threats, but the lack of creativity on offense sometimes just astounds me. I don't get it.
I was asleep or better.
The scared. I know you can't go for 4th and 1 on your own 20, but
the most exciting play we ran was the first play of the game, and I haven't seen anything since.
Yeah, Haynes has one big run. Other than, if you take away his 43-yarder, the rushing attack is awful.
Safeties are 10 yards off the line of screen. They just run right into them.
Bryce is 4 of 9 for 55 yards. All-world 5-star Bryce Underwood, 4 of 9 for 55 yards against a pass defense that's not supposed to be very good. I don't
feel bad for our defense. They've been on the field most of the game. We get 3 and out.
What is time of possession? Yeah, Wisconsin's had the ball 18:56 of the first half to Michigan's 11 minutes, so the defense has been out there a lot, asking them to do everything pretty much. It's just 10-7. First drive, Michigan got punched right in the mouth. It hasn't been much since, but we're falling asleep in the booth up here. I want to watch them sometimes. See other comments here. O-line has been pretty bad. Yeah, it hasn't been great. Well, Wisconsin, to their credit, they have a solid run defense.
Dave Wares is right on. He said it took a good feed to show how bad our receivers are.
Yeah.
They're not used to getting a pass.
Tight ends coach Kasula at the presser earlier this week on Wednesday talked about how good their run defense is. They have a top 5 or top 10 run defense in the country. So, kind of thought the running game might be a little tough. But so, okay, well, then let your all-world quarterback throw it around. It just... Dude, 4 of 9 for 55 yards in 2025 in college football is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
One pass play.
It's embarrassing that you cannot scheme more production out of the passing game with a talent like Bryce Underwood. I don't really care who's catching the ball. You do have to catch it, I realize. But they only threw it 9 times.
Yeah, I hear with Harburner, he said that they forgot they had a game before USC. That's what the defense looked like that first series. The lone wolf, same thing. No energy after the bye week.
Yeah,
they got healthy, but they lost the drive.
I see a lot of people looking at Sharon, saying it's on him. I don't know if I'm willing to say that, but he does have a brand of football that he plays that I don't love. Very, very, very conservative, very safe. Doesn't roll the dice very much. I don't like that approach. For all the Lions fans out there, that's why we love Dan Campbell, because he goes for it on 4th down. He trusts his offense. He trusts his own line. He trusts his players to make plays. A lot of times it doesn't seem like Michigan does that. We were talking about it earlier, too. 3rd and 1. You've got 7 blockers. You've got 7 blockers going up against 9 or 10 guys in the box, and you just hand it to Justice Haynes and hope he gets it. That's not That's
Just
not
flip
good
Top
football.
to the tight end. All they need.
That's
Go 3rd and 1.
That's not good football. That's not putting your guys in a position to succeed. That's hoping. I hope he finds a little crease in there because we don't have a numbers advantage. I just don't get that approach. They do it all the time.
Beating a dead horse there. Running the game.
I don't know.
Ellsbury doesn't believe in Bellamy and Newsom.
I mean, Bellamy. I'll say this for Bellamy: he can only work with what he's got, and I don't not in love with any of Michigan's receivers. Like, you look across the way a little bit at Michigan State at their big time receiver. Is it Nick Marsh? I get the Marshes mixed up with Michigan. Andrew Marsh and Nick Marsh, right? Yeah, Andrew Marsh is Michigan's. Nick Marsh is Michigan State's. Michigan doesn't have a guy like that. They don't have a guy close to that. I mean, you've
I
got
thought McCulley would have did more. There was a lot of
preseason.
hype
Yeah.
around him, that he could be the deep threat. And I don't see it. I mean, there was a miscommunication with him and Bryce there
Yeah, looked
right
like
in front of us.
McCauley looked like Underwood thought McCauley was going to break it out, and instead he just turned around and sat down, and the ball just goes flying out of bounds. I mean, that's
Chemistry isn't there.
chemistry, young quarterback,
Have
miscommunication.
we seen a deep ball yet?
No, not really to speak of. Nothing.
The flea flicker that floated,
Yeah, the flea flicker. What ended up happening on that?
it just floated down and was behind the receiver by 6-10 yards. I thought it was going to be a pick.
More passes equal more drops. Well, they have a point on that. When you're throwing it and they can't catch the ball, then why throw it? I guess.
Yeah, DJ, they need to open up some money to get a receiver along with the running or with the quarterback here.
I mean, it's a double edged sword, DJ. I'm with you, and
Who wants to come?
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, even with Bryce,
Come and block.
okay, Bryce Underwood looks like the man at times. Well, they only threw the ball with him 9 times, and I don't know if they put one in the air more than 20 yards down the field. I don't know. The one on the sideline over there to Marsh was 20 or
Beautiful.
30
That was-
maybe.
I mean, he threw him open. It wasn't even really that much separation.
That's what I said. He wasn't really even open.
No.
But you
Line was even more open.
you hope your receiver can make a play for you sometimes, and you trust him to do that. But Michigan, I don't know if I would put Andrew Marsh in that category necessarily. He's just a freshman. I don't know, man. Michigan's up 10-7. They're probably going to win the game. It'll be fine. But I told Zach that I've been sitting up in this booth watching these games for 10 years. I said, if I had $1 for every time I about fell asleep watching a game, I don't know if I'd have to work anymore.
We'd be in the suite instead of the media booth.
It's just constantly feels like you're just not putting guys in a position to succeed, not getting in a numbers advantage, not utilizing the weapons the way they could and should be used. I don't know.
Where those safeties are, they do not care.
Oh, they're not.
Passing game.
They're not looking for the pass at all.
Wow.
And that's where you've got you don't have one guy at receiver who can't hit a double move and get behind somebody or create some separation. Bryce can get it to anybody anywhere, but then it gets there and you got to catch the ball. Obviously, like we said, more passes equal more drops.
Even if it's like you said earlier, a 5 wide QB run would be ideal. Spread them out a little bit.
They're going to have to pay big to get a receiver. That's a fair point. I mean, you can lure some guys even if the system's not great. You can cut a big check and that changes.
There's some
changes
talk.
lines.
There's some talk here about his hand.
You know what? So I didn't want to say anything about it because I wasn't sure. But on one of the series, Bryce Underwood came off the field right over here on a 3rd down. They didn't get it. He came off the field and he unbuckled his chin strap on both sides with his left hand and took his helmet and just left his right arm hanging and wasn't using it. I noticed that. So I was like, maybe that looked like he didn't want to lift his arm. I was like, that looked like a shoulder maybe. But then as soon as he got to the sidelines, I saw him raise his hand up and do something with his hair or the thing that he.
His hand.
But maybe it is a hand. That's interesting that other people might have noticed that. We're not able to see the broadcast, so you guys can tell us. I don't know if they're talking about that on TV at all. But I noticed that towards the end of the second quarter on one of the possessions, Bryce came out and used his left hand to take his helmet off, which is usually indicative of a quarterback having a little something. That's just an unnatural thing. You don't do it that way.
We'll have to see how he does in the second half here. This is a good point here. McCauley getting number 1 is ridiculous. So that's
Just hand it to anybody, I guess, at this point.
that used to be a prestigious number here.
It's a storied number, and a guy usually have to earn it and come in. I mean, and they said, preseason, they said he came in, immediately bought in,
There you go.
worked hard, practiced hard, and
That's the
okay.
physical attributes.
I mean, if you give it to him that easy, can you take it away? Can you take it back and say you can get this back when you start earning it on the field? I don't know.
Barnes earning it better on defense.
Time to use the tight ends. Yeah, no catches for the tight ends. I don't know if Marlon Klein, I don't think has even been targeted. I need him to get 10 yards for a bet. That'd be great. He has none. Hasn't even been looked at. Morgan's been very underwhelming. DJ, I agree.
High praise from Linda there, Brandon.
Yeah. I can't see the comments once they move off the screen, so apologies there. God awful play calling. That's the part that
Oh,
bothers
they
me.
showed his hand on TV here. It says
Okay, that's who. Alex, appreciate that info. Yeah, like I said, they have the TVs on here, but we're in the front row and you can't really see them where we're at.
maybe his hand got smashed when he got sagged.
Underwood doing a grip strength test on the sidelines. Okay, that's yeah. See, so something it looked like was bothering his throwing hand, his right hand. Tight end play. Yeah, where's Marlon Klein? He's been out there. He looks healthy. Looks like he's moving well from the ankle. And they just
14 drops this year.
haven't thrown it to him. Hasn't gotten open.
Yeah, well,
More
you
rhythm,
got
more
it.
tempo. I agree. That's where you.
Hit them off guard.
I don't know if they've been in a great position to go for it on fourth down today. I think they've been pretty backed up on most of their fourth downs, but they're so short. They had 4th and 1 like
So many times. They're just so deep in their own.
Yeah, it's hard. I
Can't do it.
If I were a head coach, I would be
One of them.
probably aggressive to a fault, like a Dan Campbell. He's been criticized for some of his calls before. But I just feel like if you can't get a yard to keep a drive going and keep your offense on the field, give your defense a break, establish some rhythm, take a little wind out of the sails from the D, like what are you doing, man? I don't know. I know you can't give the other team the ball on the 27-yard line. I mean, you can't do that, but it's been frustrating to watch. It's been frustrating
Very
to watch.
conservative first half.
Worst wide receiver room in the country. I'm not sure I could say that, but it's been very underwhelming. To say they have played poorly and they are very underwhelming, I can sign off on that. Do you think Jesse Minter would be aggressive like Campbell? As a head coach? That's interesting. I don't know much about his philosophies overall, but he's a hell of a D coordinator. I know that. Yeah, I know that. It's just terrible play calling again. Maybe the Sharon being the one who has slowed the offense down stuff was correct. Look, I like Sharon more. The players clearly love him, but
Is he the
it's hard to not bring that up after the offense looked the way it did against Central and against Nebraska. It is.
We weren't sleepy against Nebraska.
No.
They're up here.
Dan Lanning is a very aggressive coach too. That's very true. Like Dan Lanning a lot.
Josiah says Sharon doesn't make it past next year. Wow.
I mean,
If he wins,
the problem, not the problem, but he's not going anywhere. If they win, they're probably going to win this game. They'll win this game like 21-18 or something. I mean, a win is a win. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that. I don't know if I disagree with it, but I don't know if I would say that. Wink's first drive in the last 3 games all were bad as well. Last 3, well, he was only in charge of the last 2 games, so that's not entirely accurate. But
unless they're
oh, Wink. I'm sorry, Wink. My apologies. I was thinking Biff. Yeah. Defense hasn't been great. I mean, to give up a touchdown drive right out of the gate is not a great look for a third string quarterback. Where I don't think they do throw the ball twice on that first drive. Yeah, not great. Not great on defense. Blaming Sharon. Offensive line coaching hasn't been good since Sharon left that job. Yeah, Grant Newsome, young coach. I know Sharon spends a lot of time with him and tries to bring him along, but there probably is a little bit of a drop off there. And I'm not sure Michigan's got the talent on the O line right now. You got to think about the national championship year. They had 5 or 6 guys all go to the NFL. I don't know if all of them were drafted, but I think all of them had a shot and made a practice squad or are in the league right now. So you got to take that into consideration too. You got to work with what you have. But that's the chicken or the egg thing. Were they that talented because they were that good, or were they that good because Sharon coached them up? That's always a discussion that you can have. Defense tightened up. Wisconsin had the ball for 19 minutes. Yeah, time of possession was in favor of Wisconsin in a big way. Brian Samaj still on the field. Frederick Moore—he's gone. I don't think Frederick Moore is the answer either. Not very explosive, not very big, not very talented. Sorry. I'm not saying that because he left. I mean, there's a reason why he wasn't on the field.
I think you give Andrew Mars more opportunities.
We've been hearing about Jabbar Browder too, the big freshman. I don't even think he's been on the field. Channing Goodwin, non-existent this game. I mean, he's had some drops.
He
He's
did
made
drop
some
one.
plays too. I don't know. We got 25 seconds, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. A little bit of a live thing here. Michigan about to receive the ball, so hopefully they go down and get a touchdown.
Kickoff, you open the second.
We appreciate all the comments.
Yeah, this was hot better. Better. What are we guys thinking? Sleepy out there, mowing the lawn, maybe a couple
Maybe they couldn't figure out the commenting was like
some mimosas, maybe a couple Bloody Marys. I don't know, but yeah, we appreciate it.
receivers could only get yards by hand. Have we seen a jet sweep yet?
No.
I don't know if we
All right, game ready to kick off. We'll see you.
have.